it's the button turn.
That would be handy.
Hello. How are we doing?
Evening all. Oh, just let you know, Chris is in the background. I haven't added him yet because he came on there just in case he's thinking, why have you not added me? How are yous?
I'm good.
How's everyone, all right?
Liam's changed. That's not Liam.
I know. It looks very different.
Liam's going to bed.
Who are
I've never
you?
been in the woods. Hi, everyone knows me. I'm Jim, aka Slim Jim. So
Jimmo.
I fly drones fast and crash them a lot.
Welcome to the Madhouse, Jim.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just covering Liam today because obviously he's busy with work. So
Have you got the Brill cream under the hat
I
then?
was just about to say, have you got a head
no
of
one
hair?
knows what's under the hat.
I do.
I actually got it cut today, believe it or not.
Yes. Next question, please. We're not talking about hair because we haven't got any, have we, Dave? Hair today, gone tomorrow.
Gone tomorrow, yeah.
I used wash and go. I washed it, went. Sorry, have you been out playing this week?
No.
Yes.
Nope.
That's the end of that conversation, isn't it?
Oh, but the weather's rubbish.
Yeah,
We
it's
went
really
out,
bad,
didn't we?
isn't it?
We went
Did
out this
we?
week.
Been
Oh yes,
Even
so we
been-
did.
windy and wet here.
It's still warm though, isn't it?
What do you mean it's
Yeah.
wet there? You're in Spain.
We
Oh,
had 2
brilliant.
days of rain. That's the first we've had in like a year.
Did you see the rain in Dubai the other day?
No.
It's washed. The cars were being washed down the street by the rain and everything.
Didn't think they had rain there.
No.
Or did they?
But-
I didn't know. My cousins live in Dubai, and I don't remember them saying it ever rained. Apparently, it's
No,
all
it's something to do with
trees.
they put crystals in the sky to bring the rain on, but I think they went a bit overboard, so they did.
What did they do that for?
Sounds a bit misty.
They wanted rain. Anyway, shall we crack on?
Yeah.
We will do some shout outs shortly. Over to you, Dave.
Oh, it's that time of the week again. It's
Yes.
Dave's Hot Seat. We got a great guest this time. We got Chris from the Big Ladder. Big
Ooh.
Ladder
He
production.
likes ladders.
Yeah. I do like ladders. Right. So I'm assuming he's in the background at the moment. So are you going to run the video and then we're going to bring him in at the end and we can interrogate him?
Yes.
It's that time of the week again. It's Dave's Hot Seat. Hello. Hi, Chris.
Hello, how you doing?
Good.
Chris, I got to ask the first question. How big is your ladder?
I have a big ladder. There's a story behind the whole big ladder story. It actually comes from a Peter Kay joke originally.
Oh,
If everybody knows Peter Kay.
yeah.
I'm not going to repeat the joke because it's actually I'll probably tell it wrong. But the other reason why I called myself the Big Ladder Photographer is because, as a lot of people here may know, or in the media world may know, is that when you go to so I've been a media photographer all of my professional life, and when you see press photographers, they're always on ladders.
Yeah.
So basically, I just decided to call myself.
Great.
I used to use the term in the very early days of me droning. I used the term hashtag Big Ladder, and I personally thought it was hilarious. And, I was like laughing to myself.
A photographer off a big ladder.
What you do when you post something on social media, that's really funny. And then various people then told me, that's quite a good name. So I just decided to adapt it into a business name. Basically.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's brilliant, so it is.
I'm looking at that footage. The first thing I'm thinking, if I'm absolutely honest, as you'll know, Tony, I don't YouTube isn't my native social media really. Instagram, as I think you may show in a minute. Instagram is my go-to. Well, I think we all find different social medias work different for all of us. Facebook's dying a death, but Instagram for me has been proving quite good. So I'm staying where it's working, basically.
Absolutely.
Stay where you enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's great.
No, but your photography is
all.
outstanding, so it is, Chris, because people want to definitely go and check out. At the minute, Chris has got over 5,000 subscribers on YouTube or on Instagram. And for those that don't know, Chris, if you've seen a photograph on the front page of any of the newspapers in the UK from a drone, that man did it. That's
I wouldn't
the man.
say every. Even I'm going to call you out on that. That's very kind of you to say that. But
All the good ones.
Sorry,
All the good ones.
all the good ones.
The good thing about Instagram is, because I just see EITSD 4K drones has asked, is Instagram limited in file size uploads? It's full quality, isn't it? It's better than Facebook. Facebook down samples, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it
Obviously, Instagram. Here's a little tip for everybody. Instagram. I've invested like all my efforts now in Instagram, as I've just said, and Instagram Reels is where it's at. And Instagram have completely copied the TikTok template to keep up with TikTok. So I've noticed in my stats, for example, that if you post a reel on it's a real, as we all know, it's a pain in the ass to format your videos to upright. Absolute pain in the ass, because our natural, as we're all looking at each other now, we're looking at each other horizontal, and to format upright, it for me I feel it kills the footage personally.
Yeah, it does that. Our TVs are horizontal, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Our eyes are horizontal.
Yeah, I know. And now we're all on phones, which are all upright.
Yeah.
But the stats are that if you post a reel on Instagram, the algorithm shows it to 3 times the amount of people.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, just touching on that as well, Chris, like I used to just do landscape for all my drone stuff, and I just used GoPro, Fly PV. That was just what we did. But since it's gone on to phones and it's all 9x6 instead of 60x9, I've actually started doing 8x7, so I can do both. So when I get to post, I could either do it landscape or portrait, and just crop out where I need, and it keeps the quality recording at 4K. So massively.
Obviously, DJI bought in the upright camera into the mini drones. I don't believe the upright camera's on any other drones, is it yet? I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if they bring it into the. Is it? I don't think it's on the Air. Bizarrely, I've actually
only the Mini 4.
Yeah, it's on the Mini. It's on all the minis. So on all the minis, the upright mode. And what I was doing to edit my stuff for social media for upright videos, I was paying. Oh God, I feel where you suddenly discover a shortcut that you wish you discovered like 10 years ago. So I was editing everything. I'm old school, so I was editing everything in Final Cut, and then putting it onto my phone, and then cropping it into upright on my phone. And then suddenly I discovered that that Final Cut has a native vertical mode, which also smart conforms. So therefore, the smart conform supposedly doesn't do it great every time, but sniffs the most interesting or the best part of your video to crop.
Oh wow! I've been doing it manually like you and moving the picture.
Yeah, no. If you go into I know that Premiere and I think a lot of other people use DaVinci. I'm Final Cut Pro like you, so people have moved away from Final Cut. I know they have, but I learned it a few years ago, and now I can't be bothered to learn something else.
Yeah, stuck with it.
Will you be able to stay with us, Chris, for a while tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm here. I've got a wine, so I'm here.
Hey.
Cheers, Dave. Yes, the 2 winos are on the other side. Over to you, Jackie, please. Oh, he's got beer.
Oh, he's got beer. Wow. First video up tonight is Simon's Drone Channel, and you can find Simon's Drone Channel on YouTube by typing in Simon's Drone Channel. So there's no excuse for not finding it, is there? This is one he's done over Church of Anglican Church and Area Sheffield General Cemetery Part 1. Take a look at it. It's a good video.
You didn't do your homework.
What do you mean I didn't do my homework?
That was
I'm
great.
just
wasn't it?
teasing.
That was
You
handsome.
know
A
me.
video of that?
It was awesome. So it was Simon's new.
I don't believe it, Jackie. I thought
What?
you'd done your homework really well.
Thank you.
I'm not confident. Chris, you been in Wales this week?
Gloucester, very near. I was photographing the 7 bore, but unfortunately, as we'll all know, weather plays a crucial part in drone adventures, and I as you may know, I go off and do lots of media stuff with drones, and I was commissioned to photograph the 7 bore by drone, and then the weather intervened, and it was atrocious. On the morning, there was a grade 5 bore for the first time in about 4 years, and unfortunately, I couldn't shoot it by drone. I had to shoot it by regular. I've been as people here may not know, I've been a photographer all my life. So drones have only just sort of come into my radar, onto my radar in the last sort of. I've been doing it since 2017 now, but yeah, suddenly I had to be a regular photographer again because of the rain. You go all that way. I had all these pictures in my mind of great. I always have visions of pictures that I'm going to do before I even go and do them. How I think they're going to shape up, and I still do. Unfortunately, with the 7 bore, it's going to have to wait until the killer picture that I have in mind is going to have to wait till another occasion.
Chris, explain what a 7 bore is to
7 bore. Okay, is crikey. Now I'm going to have to do a bit of. So basically, it's a tidal bore, and it's caused by. It's almost like witnessing a tsunami. Really, basically, it's the tide coming in through the Bristol Channel very, very quickly. And basically, the River Severn is when the bore comes in. The River Severn is almost completely out. And it's basically the tide just rushing in, and all of a sudden, to be honest, you have people, hundreds of people, if not thousands, turn out to watch it, and they stand on the riverbanks and they risk getting washed into the river. And when I thankfully I went down a day early to shoot it, because it was logistically, it was such a difficult thing to work out where I needed to be. As we'll all know, you can't just turn up to events and you get the best picture and go home. The planning that goes into everything that I do is quite painful and boring.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, the photography part of it and the drone flying part of it, no word of a lie, is probably less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We can spend ages, can't we, Tony, doing a like a day's filming. Well, I say a day's filming, it's like a few hours filming, and we watch about 2 minutes of it at the end of it.
Yeah, it is. I've been on big long shoots for big corporations and what have you, and you spend all day doing whatever, various different angles and shoots and blah, 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 and you present them with a massive amount of files and what have you at the end of the day, and then they send you the finished product, right? and your footage is nowhere. I won't mention who it was, and I was like really excited to see it. I thought, that big panning round part that I've done.
They didn't use it.
Not used.
And the drone rose up over that building. That was amazing. I'm really pleased how that worked out. And then when you see it, they send you the final thing. And there's been ones before where you go through the whole video and there's nothing of mine in it. And then at the end, they've used 2 seconds of your footage.
Oh.
So
that is so annoying.
Yeah. So and that's also newspapers as well. You can go on something for a newspaper. It goes both ways. You can get really good hits as well that really get used really well. But you can take a picture. You're like, oh my god, I'm so pleased with that picture, and you because I think all of us, we get quite emotionally invested in what we do, and I do.
We all do.
And then when you see it not used, it kind of upsets you.
It's very deflating.
But on the flip side, when it is used, it's quite a euphoric feeling.
Absolutely, yeah.
You've had stuff on the telly, haven't you? So I guess you know.
He's famous now, isn't he?
Yeah, Tony's had stuff on the TV. Yeah, there's nothing quite like going into a newsagent or whatever you want to call them now, or a supermarket, see your pictures on the front of the newsstand or whatever, and that is quite. I've done this job now for 30 years, and I basically that feeling of sort of really feeling really pleased with yourself for getting published never leaves. What I will say is, the internet's taken over and online use is taken over. I don't get. I'm afraid I don't get the same kick from being used online. I don't.
It's when you walk into that shop and you see your photo
being published.
It's hard copy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being published is a real difference.
It's physical, isn't it? Where you can physically go into any shop in the country and you know that anyone in the country can possibly pick that paper and go, oh, wow, look at that. And the internet, you kind of need to dig for it. So, I can
you do.
appreciate
you
that.
Do. And it's in public, when you're, so one of the best sort of examples very early in my career as a photographer, I was a local newspaper photographer up in East Anglia. And I remember I took this picture of I still got it on the wall somewhere. It's a picture of a sunset over a windmill. Quite a cliche picture, but I was really pleased with it. And this local magazine bought it off me, and then they were like, "Oh, we're going to use it on our front cover at some stage."
Wow.
So I didn't know when it was coming out, and then I was in the local Sainsbury's on like a Saturday afternoon or something, and I was at the cash till going to pay, and there was a stand with my magazine, my picture on the front of the magazine, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's my picture on the front of the magazine!" And then I looked up, and the same stand was every till down.
Wow.
So I was like, "Oh my god, there's my picture all the way down the shop."
Did you tell anyone, like a random stranger? Did you go, "Oh, that's my picture"?
I will admit, I still get. After 30 years, you do still get, a buzz out of it. And when I got during COVID, I got like a couple of front pages of the Mail and the Times for a picture of Tower Bridge in New Year's Eve. And I remember going into Sainsbury's, and you're kind of like, and I think I bought 3 copies of each.
Cashier looks at you a bit odd,
One for my mum, one for whoever.
Yeah.
And I think I said to the girl, she said, "Are you sure you want 3? Is this a mistake?" I think I said I took that picture on the front there, and I think part of them doesn't believe you.
Yeah.
I think part of them doesn't believe you, but anyway, yeah. So it's the whole being published thing is still pretty. I'm afraid it's dying out a little bit. Publishing, which is a crying shame.
Tell me about it. I used to work in the print industry.
Tell me about you. Go on. Tell me.
My dad was a printer.
Was he?
Yeah, he used to work for Barcher Printing years and years ago.
So how did we all get into drones?
I don't know, really. Go on then, Jackie, you start.
My boyfriend bought me a DJI Spark in 2017, 2018, something like that. And loved it.
Yeah.
I drowned it later, but I loved it.
So they replaced that with a Mini, didn't they? Basically.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when I drowned it, that didn't exist, so that I
Yeah.
replaced it with a DJI Mavic Platinum,
Mhm.
and then I got the Avata.
Platinum.
Yeah.
No, that was the one that followed
still
on
going.
from the original.
Pro 2 or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And then I
Weekly
got the Avata, and now I've got the Mini 4.
So I see that the
continued.
Avata 2 is on the horizon. So
I know.
Yeah, I saw
Not
that.
long. And
But-
the DJI goggles free.
But rumour has it, it's not going to be sub 249. So,
Probably not.
Yeah, but the one wasn't either.
no, I've got the one, but I
Yeah,
thought
I've
the
got
number
one.
2 would be.
I have to say the
No.
I although it's a great drone, I've had a little bit of worries with connectivity on it.
Have you? All right.
Yeah.
You need to go full
yeah.
custom. That's where it's at.
Shall
Sorry?
we play
Don't need to
another
worry about
video?
In what way?
What,
Sorry.
FPV?
Yeah.
Just build your own. You can get the DJI system, so they do the Air 03 it's called now. So you can get the Air 03 and then get the DJI goggles too. Just put it in the
Yeah.
custom frame. And then
Yeah.
you can put whatever you want in it. You don't need to worry about connectivity because it's
Yeah, but then you have to fly manual and it doesn't
Yeah.
hover. And just,
Well,
it's
it does-
difficult.
You can set it up. You can set it up to do that.
You
but
do know
it's
I'm not
fun.
paying overtime.
You're not playing. Cool.
We're having fun. Let's get on with our chatting. We're having fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Next video is over to Jimmy.
Yeah, cool. Right, catapult into this one. It's Brian, aka Borders Drone Seekers. This video is amazing. It's a mix of cinematic flying with a DJI Avata and a Mini 3 Pro. And it's around Berwick upon Tweed and Eyemouth up in Scotland. And
That's
like I say, it's
easy for you to
amazing.
say.
I just love Brian's films.
Celtic.
Nice.
That's
Who-
really
who
good.
put- who-
Got
who
sat
put
on
on
a 4K TV. It's so much better.
Mm.
Sorry to interrupt. A comment on that said the birds aren't real.
Yeah, I wonder that. I question that. Why is,
Who's
how do
got
they not?
time to Photoshop birds in?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Maybe it's Kate doing it. Sorry, I didn't say that.
That I still can't get over. Every time we show a video from Scotland, there's no rain. Does it not rain in Scotland anymore?
I think they just hide it like Cornwall does.
They've done a good job of it. But no. You were talking about the Avata earlier on, Chris.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any FPV?
Yeah, I've got the Avata, but as I said, what I learned from getting the Avata was how much of a completely different genre of FPV of drone flying. Yeah, as Mr. Slim Jim will testify. Basically, it's a whole completely new skill of drone flying.
Yeah.
It's completely different, and I get asked to do it occasionally, and I'm not very good at it. I've decided that I'm just stay to what I'm good at.
It's fair.
And let the Avata, let the FPV people do, and so now I refer a lot of that kind of work on to somebody else.
Yeah, a
I
lot of
think
people.
Dave should get the Avata. He tries to make his Mini for the Avata things. He needs
should
the
get into
Avata.
it.
Yeah. It's a fantastic experience flying FPV, and some of the
Yes,
videos
fun.
we see online, are jaw dropping. It's I've with the Avata. I don't think the Avata's the best. Maybe the two will be. I'm sure the two will be a lot more improved. But I notice you're using your own tailor-made FPVs there, are you?
I use a frame called it's an Armaton, the company. So they're all carbon fiber. They're designed for racing, and it's all custom hardware, ESCs. You put it all together, solder and blah blah, program it. This has got DJI tech in it, so the what called VTX or video transmitter is DJI. That's the only thing, but it's all completely manual. And to touch on something that you'll appreciate, Chris, is a lot of people that fly drones. The drone flying for cinematics is very much photography based first, and you're using a platform to get to a place where you can't put a camera. Whereas FPV is you're doing it for the flying experience, and you just record your experience. So it's taking both elements, but there's a completely different reason for both.
No. I mean, what I found really frustrating with people that want FPV is the amount of planning that goes into an FPV shoot, and clients don't really understand that.
It's close proximity. So
and it's all all those amazing. For example, if any of us have got time, I mean, I don't know who did this FPV video, but if you look up the Titanic Hotel in Liverpool, their website intro is like pretty jaw-dropping FPV. And I look at that going, I can't do that. I can't do
It's
that.
like the Steel City drone pilot. He does some amazing stuff if you've ever watched his.
It's a whole different it's a whole different skill. Different. It's like
I like watching them, but there's no way I could put a pair of goggles on and fly the way you guys do.
We'll sit you down, Tony, and
You don't know that. Give it a go. Seriously, it's easier than you think.
I've got it and use it on, and I actually in my workshops I have let people use my Avata in workshops, and I have to hold them. Actually, have to hold them steady. To there was a guy the other day that I literally held on to him as he was flying the Avata because he felt like he was going to fall over wearing the goggles.
You get used to that.
Thank you for showing my workshop page. So very kind. I basically do these. They're photography-based workshops. They are run in conjunction with DJI. I'm very fortunate that DJI have come on board and loaned me a lot of equipment for people to try out during these workshops. And I sort of discuss how I take creative pictures, how to see the world differently via a drone. It's not all about height, is what one of the number one things I say. It's a camera that can go anywhere.
It's funny, that's what Liam said to me on Sunday when we were out flying, because he had his drone near the ground, and I'm thinking, because I went over, I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Tony, it's not always about the height." And I was doing a camera. We were doing a live, and I went over his screen, and he was just down near the ground, but the drone was pointed up, and the sun was just behind the castle. It was brilliant. A really nice photo as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, it's all about as a photographer, I believe that photography, drones are the biggest new thing in photography since the advent of digital. Yeah. I think that's without dispute, if I'm honest. So even Sir David Attenborough has described drones as revolutionizing his documentaries. If you look at any programs now, I think they use the Attenborough programs use a lot of FPV as well. It's changed how photography and television and films is done completely. It's a complete revolution.
Done away with helicopter pilots for some.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I used to fly in helicopters for newspapers a lot, and I used to find that great. If you got the phone call to say, right, we need to fly on this, it was great. You go up and I'd fly on a lot of jobs in central London and fly over wherever, and usually crime scenes, and photograph the crime scenes from the helicopter. But that is, of course, in central London, because NATs take so long to pass permissions in central London.
You missed the story, haven't you?
Yeah, you've missed the story. I've had many conversations with national newspaper picture editors who are up in arms. Why can't we get a drone up like now? And I'm like, because you've got at least a week, if not longer, to wait for the permissions to go through, and it's hopeless. And I have actually made a representation to the head of NATS to try and get things sped up for media coverage, and they wouldn't have a bar of it. I mean, to be honest, you can see where they're coming. It's all about safety and making sure. But it's so helicopters are still, and to be fair, it's like a very good example of this is Winter Wonderland, which I've photographed loads. I do it. I shoot it. What?
It's on later.
Is it? Well, we'll show it later. But a very good example is that, because I can only go 400 feet high in Hyde Park, right? And that's not quite high enough for Winter Wonderland. And I've seen it shot from a helicopter. And I still think my drone stuff is still pretty good, but the helicopter is like, wow, it's completely because they can, and obviously the photographer in the helicopter can use lots of different lenses, far more than we have on a drone.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Jimmy, I have a question for you.
Me?
No, Jimmy.
What's the question, Tech?
This next video, how did it not get video of the week?
Oh, do I have to explain this?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'll introduce it and I'll explain why. So the next video is from a guy called Paul Nakala. No one's heard of that name. He's also known as Nurk FPV. If you've heard of Nurk, Jackie knows who Nurk is. Not a lot of people know who Nurk is. He's a 2018 DRL champion, or Drone Racing League champion. He's an amazing guy. He's extremely talented. He's got his own company doing FPV stuff. He helps innovate the CineWhoop, which is what the DJI Avatar is. So I've actually got the Shendrone Squirt, it was called, which is this. He helped develop with the guy who runs Shendrone. That's what created Cinework. So it's quite a massive thing. He's quite a massive, talented guy. He did in 2017 the Flight of the Year with the trains. I don't know if
Yes, that's the one everyone knows, isn't it?
Yeah, he flew underneath the train, flew inside
Under
the
the
carriages.
train,
Anyway, he's
train.
really well known in the FPV world, and I shared this on Facebook, and Tony chose it to put on the show, which I'm so grateful for because he needs a bit of support. I didn't choose it because I didn't want to be biased. As much as it was amazing, I chose someone else who
Biased, hey Jackie.
Yeah.
I chose someone else who I think truly deserved it more than because he's quite big, whereas the video I chose for Video of the Week is lesser so, and his video was just on par with Nerd stuff. if
This
not
video
better.
is short, but do not
Sorry.
blink.
Yeah.
It's amazing, his stuff. You got to watch it. Just diversity is great.
Fabulous.
Brilliant.
If you guys want to watch a good FPV channel, just go Nurk FPV. Go follow him because he does a lot of stuff like this, and he also does a lot of build stuff. He does a lot of getting people into FPV, explains the hobby, and he does a lot of other cinematic stuff, not just FPV but drone and also handheld. So he's an amazing, talented guy.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was next level. That really.
Yeah, so it's a bit.
But what that also did show is the power of obviously superbly shot, but the power of really good editing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he does it professionally. He gets contracted to go and do work, and he'll choose FPV mostly, but also he does cinematic drone stuff as well as handheld stuff with his business to get the right shot for the client. And he goes through that on his channel as well. He documents everything, like goes through shoots and how he does it back to behind the scenes. So it's a really interesting guy to follow.
Cool.
Short.
Say the name again.
Nurk FPV.
No.
NURK.
Right.
Can I just point something out before anybody? Does anybody? Because I know who this is. EITSD4K. That is a regular, but he's changed his name.
Oh, who is it?
I in the
Sky Drones.
Hi.
Jim. What's
Yeah.
he changed his name?
Because he's got a sponsor now, so every one of his videos. But he's coming on in a couple of weeks, and he's going to explain more. But no, I thought because everybody's thinking, who's that ED?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Did you see his mirrors last weekend? He put out a video with
Yes, Inception style.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I quickly had another go. I had a go at doing it, and it's not that hard to do actually.
No, it's just inverted, isn't it? But he's done well.
All you need to do is just
You've got to choose the right shot, haven't you? And Jim nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely nailed it.
Yeah,
very good.
Did
The
Suzanne
power of
do it as
editing,
well?
as Chris just said.
Did Suzanne do it as well?
Not sure.
I think she put a video out with the same sort of thing on it.
Wow.
But it's pretty cool. So
I don't think so. I've only seen one. I've only seen
Jim's.
Jim's.
Reminds me of those Magic Eye things you used to get.
Yeah, that's right. The kaleidoscope thing. Yeah.
Kaleidoscope,
That's the one.
Before anybody gets this question in, Chris, You have one choice. You're only allowed
Oh yeah.
one
Where
choice.
would you fly?
What?
You only have one choice. Where in the world would you like to fly your
Hmm.
drone? You've only have one choice.
Well, I used to live there, so I'm going to say this place, New Zealand.
Oh, nice.
Few people said that. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a few places, but it's easy for me to do it because I'm a New Zealand citizen. So,
yes.
and I hugely regret. I went there in 2017 when the Mavic first came out, the first Mavic, and I had it on order, and unfortunately, it didn't arrive in time for me when I went. Proper, and what I will admit is that it was a real tragedy it didn't, because there was next to no drone rules, so I could have probably flown it anywhere.
Anyway, that would have been stunning,
And
wouldn't it?
obviously that's not the case there now, because they have all the same drone laws that we do. But other than that,
No, you only had one choice.
oh, do I go on then?
But like everybody else in this show, you can pick another one.
British Columbia.
Ah, interesting.
It's a good
So,
choice.
So Jimmy,
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
actually
actually-
probably similar to New Zealand in
Yeah.
some ways.
so Jimmy, I got one for you because I forgot to ask you this. FPV, one choice. Where would you like to fly?
What, legally or not legally?
No,
No.
totally anywhere.
Anyway,
No limits.
Totally free, no limit. But don't do it.
I think I said before when I was on the channel, and I thought about this recently as well. London would be amazing just because of what's there, and it's all about gaps in FPV. Like if you can fly through gaps, it's amazing. So flying down the Thames in London, yeah, stuff like that. Diving down the Shard, so around St Paul's, Big Ben. Or the other one I thought would be like New York City, bridges, buildings, stuff to play with. That's what you want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that'll be the only two I can think of. But-
We only have 1, 2, 3, 4 videos left. So we got
Well, you
video
got
for
10 minutes. I'm on overtime.
We got one more from Jackie, and we got another one from Chris. So over to you, Jackie.
Okay, this next one, I first met Steve Jeunesse when he was on Bob's show, and he's got some lovely footage on his channel from Vermont. So what one are we showing? We are showing, I can't remember, what am I showing?
Month views.
Vermont views, that's right.
Homework.
The main goal of my drone video hobby is to showcase the beauty of Vermont to visitors, as well as reminding us of the beautiful sights and sounds that make up our daily lives. Growing up in any location tends to make the daily sights and sounds routine. That is, they are always present, slow to change, and consistent. This is what making a home is: consistency and routine. Growing up in Vermont is a unique experience. Our daily lives are intertwined with the vastness of the Green Mountains, the warm and inviting forests, the subtle burbling of its brooks, the glistening surfaces of the lakes and ponds, the special fabric that is the Vermont experience. Sadly, the daily routines that make up our existence tend to mute the beauty of life here in the Green Mountains, becoming consistent and routine. Why do visitors come to Vermont? They want to capture their own snapshot of the Vermont experience without the baggage of daily life, be it skiing on Jay Peak or hiking Mount Pisgah. They want what we have. Drone photography captures the special side of the Vermont experience, its awesome beauty. Traveling the vast network of highways and secondary roads, this beauty is revealed in subtle and enriching ways. A subtlety that can only be appreciated by residents. Taking this subtlety from ground level to 100 feet adds excitement to the mosaic that is the Vermont experience.
Vermont looks lovely.
Done it, huh?
I liked all those reflections of the water, so I did.
Yeah, flat as a mill pond, as they say.
Yep.
But that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Check out Steve's channel. Check out everyone's channel.
Yep.
After-
Sub,
Yes,
like, share,
please.
comment. Definitely do the comment. Definitely do
Thumbs
more
up
than
as well.
30
Hit the
seconds.
like button as soon as you can.
Yes.
And don't forget to go and
To Stonehenge.
Very kind, very kind.
definitely.
Sub follow.
I know we're all I know we're all YouTubers on here, but definitely go and check out Chris's Instagram. It's
I know.
awesome.
I need to post more to YouTube. I realise that.
Chris, you look like Jeff Hurst in that picture.
Which one? Oh yeah, yeah.
Just scored a goal in the World Cup.
Hang on a minute. They think it's all over.
Yeah, I was going
Not
to say
yet.
there's some people.
Well,
I think it's all
We got
over.
we got 3 more videos. Dave, it's over to you.
Okay, so this is the second one from Chris tonight, and all photos in the video have been front page of some newspaper somewhere,
Okay, I'm nervous as to what it's going to be.
or mainstream media. Sorry.
I think all of the pictures have been shown, but if they haven't, they should have been. These are brilliant. These are all drone photos.
Yay. I love the thought that goes into the ones where the long shadows
Mm.
are
Yeah,
right
lovely.
way up.
I'm gonna be
There's
honest
one
with
there
you,
for you, Tony.
actually-
Long
I actually
shadows.
forgot about some of those. So that was actually quite a nice thing for me to watch as well. As it's very kind of you to show that, you wouldn't believe the planning that goes into many of those pictures. The shadows.
I'm off.
The shadows are incredibly difficult to get right, and
Yeah, but you've got to get the right time of day, the right
yeah,
oil.
believe me, it literally is all of that. And so a lot of those, the vineyard one was shot for a client of mine called Nightingale, who do a lot of English sparkling wine, and they're very very good at the best clients are the ones that allow you to exercise your artistic freedom. Sounds very Ponzi, but and whenever a client leaves me to do my own thing, that's when I'm able to get the best result. And I actually say to clients, if they tell me what to do, then I won't get the best result.
Mm.
And
I had a similar thing in a job I did, commercial work I had in Stratford. The guys wanted to get some FPV stuff, and I was like, "Well, what are you after?" and stuff. And they're like, "Go have fun." And I was like, "Don't tell me that, because I will." They just do what you do, and then we'll look at the video after, and they were just like, "Perfect." Couldn't ask for anything better.
And that's the absolute ideal client. I've done a huge amount of stuff for the Royal Horticultural Society. Try saying that after a couple of these.
Yeah.
And
I'm sober and I can't say it.
Or RHS for short. And the sole reason why the pictures I did for them were so successful is because they literally would leave me to it.
Mm.
And I didn't. Sorry, go on.
I have something to say. From all those photos, what people wouldn't have noticed, there was one photograph, and it was a festival.
Yeah.
Festival Chris put a video on TikTok, and it was basically the aftermath of that. Because if people go and watch it back and put it on pause, they'll see the mess that 100,000 people left.
Reading Festival. So you live nearby, don't you, to that? Well, it's now become a depressingly regular thing, because it actually does get me quite angry, if I'm honest. And I actually think, I don't think I'm overstating this in that I started photographing the festival aftermaths about 4 or 5 years ago by drone, and I think every year those pictures get published, and on TikTok they were seen by 2 million people.
You stole my thunder. I was just about to say that.
And it just goes because obviously the demographic that's on TikTok are people that go to the Reading Festival, so it's just gone wild on there. But what I am pretty proud of and pleased about is that I know that those aftermath pictures that show the carnage that people leave at these festivals has prompted other festivals to clean up their act. And it's definitely prompted Glastonbury for a start. Glastonbury, after those pictures were published of the Reading Festival, Glastonbury then started putting out their own press releases saying, look how tidy we've left the field, our fields. And that is a direct result of those drone images.
I was going to say, has anyone ever done any aftermath pictures?
You mean what after it's tidied up?
Yeah.
What I will say on that is I get as a member of the media, I get loads of abuse. All right, it seems being a member of the media is the only job where it's okay to be abused, and that happens quite regularly, if I'm honest. And some of it may be a little bit justified, and some of it's definitely not justified. And on the Reading stuff, I do get abused as well. That I've made it up. I've had ones where I've made it up.
How have you made it up? What did you
Exactly. You tell me how I've made it up. One comment on one of the social media places that put it said, "This is clearly taken when everyone's asleep in their tents."
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I got abused about it as well. When I put my footage on, I got abused. They turned around and they said, "Well, it all goes to charity," and I'm thinking, well, actually, it doesn't all go to charity.
What I can tell you, the official line there with Reading is they do let homeless charities in at the end, and they are allowed to take what is usable. Now,
it's usable. That's the word.
What is usable? This is a bit of a revelation to everybody here, but the people that go to Reading, those tents at the end are pretty much, a lot of them are destroyed by their behaviour there. And why should the homeless want wrecked tents? You know, what's the logic behind that? You know, the homeless should have.
I bought one once.
Better accommodation than that. You know, it's just ridiculous. It's a real sort of elitist thing to say give it to the homeless. It's just not right. And the other thing that people do with tents at Reading is they actually buy an extra tent to go to the toilet in.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
you take it 100,000 people.
The Scouts normally clean them all up and sell them on, because I bought one from the Scouts once.
Yeah, you. What I will say is, when I've been there in previous years, I now do it from a little bit further out. But when I've been there if you want anything camping wise, then go to the Reading Festival after it finishes, and it's rich pickings. You literally leave everything.
You know, it's really funny. Yeah. When I went this year, or not this year, when I went, because I took Liam with me this year. I went last year, and because I live at the top of the hill where it is, and I knew the no-fly zone had been lifted, all the people were out of it. So I walked straight through the gate at the bottom of my hill, and I had my Mini 3, and I put it up, and this big burly security guard comes over and he says, "You can't fly here," and I says, "Really?
Fly here, mate.
What makes you think I can't fly here?" Well, because there's a festival on, I says, it's bank holiday, it's 5 o'clock, it's finished, the no-fly zone's finished. Oh, I'll phone the police. I says, no problem, I'll sit here and wait for them. She
I'll
went
do
then
that.
and went
I'll
back
do
and
that.
sat down at a
I-
You
coffee.
sound like an
When I
auditor.
know- when I know I'm bang right, and I had one of these the other day. Somebody remonstrated with me the other day, and I knew I was completely above board, everything. And they said, phoning the police. I said, phone them.
Go ahead.
I said, I will wait here. I said, and unfortunately, you'll realise that you've wasted their time. Unfortunately, though, the police didn't turn up.
Because they didn't phone them.
We have 2 videos left. Channel of the week, video of the week, and it's
Oh.
over to you, Jackie. Oh,
Channel
Dave,
of the
sorry.
week.
Sorry, Dave, what?
Someone's asking where Liam is. Liam, unfortunately, has been detained again.
Hmm.
So we've got a stand-in.
He's arrested.
That way.
Jim is our stand-in. So
Yeah.
this is for a couple of weeks, I think, or maybe a bit long. I don't know.
Don't know. Depends
Right,
on
so-
what you pay me.
Before
Anyway.
Depends if anybody. It
Yeah,
depends if
we-
anybody puts his bail money up.
Yeah, that's right. We're trying to get a few copies together, aren't we, Tony? But
Yeah, for your beer and your wine. Over to you,
Okay,
Jackie, please.
channel of the week time is Steve Knowles' birthday boy. Yay!
Happy
Yay.
birthday!
This is a video Steve did from the ground. It's just video while some of the droners were out droning, and Steve is always on all the live chats. He's a massive supporter.
yeah,
of
we'll give him that. He is always here. Yeah.
and that is why he's just channel of the week, because he's a fantastic bloke. And happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, do you want
Go
me to
on
hit the
then.
button?
Well done. I'm going to go up and you didn't respond quick enough. How far did you get, Harvey? 700. Feet, 900 feet. Feet. Still perfect pictures. 400 feet.
What I got to tell you is that day, right? Someone went and lost a drone, and Steve and his family were there, and they all helped us look for our drones. And Steve was the one who found it.
Speak, Tony.
Got a question.
Yeah.
Was that Steve, as in Steve from Drone Seekers International?
No,
Who?
not Steve. Oh, what? Steve flying the drone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve
Oh, he
Gardner.
has-
Yeah.
It's just I've never seen his legs before, because normally when we see everybody on here, we only see the top, because nobody really knows I'm 6'6".
Yeah. Right. Only in your stilettos, eh, Tone?
Yeah.
Only on Wednesdays.
Have you got any big shoots lined up, Chris?
I'll be absolutely honest with you.
No.
Everything of mine is very last minute. And people always ask me this question: what you got on? News happens. Most of my stuff is quite sort of news related. I will admit I'm a little bit shy to divulge what I am going to do, for various reasons. There is quite a big shoot I have coming up for a national newspaper on Saturday, but for various reasons I'm not going to go into details of that. It makes me come across like I'm a little bit being evasive, but unfortunately, in newspapers you have to be a little bit. You'll see it on my social media if it's a success. You'll see it on my social media.
Have you got any workshops coming up?
Yeah, plenty of work. The workshops are going very, very well. Yeah, I've got several coming up in. I'm booked up for a lot of April for workshops. I'm doing workshops for the Royal Photographic Society as well. Several of them coming up this year. They have been proving very popular. For people that want to try out various different DJI drones, including the Avata. I've got loads of the minis. I've just got my hands on the Air 3. The Air 3 has been a bit of a revelation for me because it has the 70mm lens on it.
Oh, it's brilliant.
And the 70mm lens, we all started droning, I'm sure, with drones that only have wide-angle lenses. And of course, the Mavic 3 brought in the long lens. And then gradually, of course, they brought in this what's called a ×3 lens, which is actually a 70mm lens, or roughly a 70mm lens, like a standard lens, as they call it. But I went up, so I do workshops all over the place, loads of different locations, South Coast, London, Richmond Park. I do quite a lot in Richmond Park. I've also been doing workshops right beside Tower Bridge, done several there now. And also slightly up the country, Oxford. I've got some locations in Oxford where I fly, and then so the workshops are split between 2 hours flying, various different drones, the Mavic 3s and the Air 3, and the mini drones that can be flown, and the Avata as well. And then I go into 2 hours of theory, how I edit, how to get your airspace permissions, how to work out how to register your drone, and all that. There are different. I do beginner courses and intermediate courses, and I'll be absolutely honest with you. Depending on the person's skill set, I just adapt the workshop there and then for the person's skill level. So I'm not sort of. I also sort of make sure they're a bit fun as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be fun. Fun is learning, isn't it? Learning.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not afraid of. I impart my sort of creative. I try to sort of teach people how to be a bit more aware of how to shoot creatively, how to see shapes in the landscape, how to shoot. Obviously, I'm not sure if you guys know, but I was a judge of Landscape Photographer of the Year last year, so I'm sort of happy to I impart a lot of the knowledge that I've had from that. I've been a picture editor for national newspapers, so I'm able to tell people how to take pictures that are of interest rather than just, a lot of people, I will be honest, a lot of people, when they get a drone, just put it, as we've already said with Tony there, they just put a drone way up as far as they can in the sky and just do a view. And there's so much more you can do with a drone. You can,
absolutely.
Did
anyone see the? Sorry to interrupt. Did anyone see the?
Go on. I'm waffling. You go on.
The video, I think at the weekend, of the nature video of the filming of, I can't remember, it was the wolves in Alaska in -50. They got a drone up, the Inspire, and the motors were frozen on it, and they had to warm it up with a hairdryer to fly it. But it flew, and they got incredible footage.
I bet.
I think they do a lot of that. They do
You're
a
right,
lot of that
Tony.
now with your smaller drones. I'm not sure, and I'm sure there'll be somebody out there that will correct me on this, like there always is on social media. But I'm sure that the Mavic 3 line must be eating a little bit into the Inspire line, quite a lot, but just by the fact that it's far more portable particularly for wildlife shoots, like you just mentioned.
Good solid drone.
I mean, I've seen BTS footage, as they call it, from Attenborough stuff, and they're shooting on Mavic 2s and 3s.
Are they?
Yeah.
Shows how good they are, the drones.
Yeah. Oh, you can without a doubt, you can. It's not. I'm going to say it's not how big it is, but it's how you use it.
That's totally saying.
So, and that completely applies to drone world. It does. I remember starting out on the Mavic drones, and someone criticizing not my work, but they were going, "Oh yeah, the Mavics are just toys." This guy was like, "They're just toys."
It's like the minis, though. Surely the minis, you can get some decent footage out of a mini.
Yeah, you can.
And they're not but they're very quiet as well, so you can get closer to nature.
Yeah. The best thing about the minis is I will admit that when I didn't actually use the minis for a long time, because I've got a GVC, and so have sort of the permissions and what have you to shoot on the slightly bigger drones, and so I didn't have a mini for a long time, and then I was given a mini to use, and I have to admit I was like, oh my god.
I'm blown away. The Mini 4, I'm blown away by it.
This drone is, and I did a shoot, Brighton Royal Pavilion, which was actually in one of the clips you just showed, and low light, of course. So I shoot a lot of stuff low light, and the Mavic, the bigger Mavic 3 is obviously brilliant at low light because it's got a larger sensor, and then I got the Mini, and I went to Brighton Pavilion last December and shot it again for them. I do it in conjunction with the pavilion. And but it's a very built up area, obviously, centre of Brighton. And so I've always not felt really comfortable flying the Mavic 3. So I thought I'm going to fly, it was actually the Mini 3 Pro, wasn't the 4. And I flew the Mini 3. And I thought, let's see how it copes with the low light. And I shot it, felt more comfortable flying it over that busy area. And then I just looked at the image on screen straight afterwards in their little cafe there. And I thought, that's fine. That's good enough for me. Yeah. That's great. And so I just thought, well, I'm not flying the bigger drone. That's it. I'm going home. And it was then you double page in the Guardian Eyewitness. So that for me sealed the argument with you can get great results with the Mini drone.
It's really funny because where the pier is, I went down there not this Christmas but the previous Christmas because I wanted footage as well. So I put my Mini 3 up over the ice rink, got all of that, and I went down to the pier, and he was just coming up to 9:30 on a Sunday night, and I put my Mavic 3 up, and it's coming back roads, and I'm thinking, some sod switching all the bloody lights off, and as my drone was coming back, all the lights were going off, and I thought, what the hell? But when I come home and check the footage, it was the best footage I ever got, because as the drone comes back, the lights were going off.
You couldn't have timed that if you'd tried.
No. Off the pier, the lights were going off on the pier.
Yeah, they were switching them off because they closed.
Right.
It was closed. And it was basically time to go home, and I'm thinking, don't be turning the lights off, leave the lights on. But when I got home and looked at the footage, I thought, oh, that's brilliant, it's the best footage I ever got. We have one video left. Yeah, it was lucky then.
You had the base jumper at Cheddar as well, didn't you?
Oh, that was on TV on Sunday. I don't know how they did it, but when I zoomed in, and my footage was rubbish. But when they showed it on Alan Titchmarsh on Sunday, you can see the bloke coming down better than what I had.
Upscaled it.
I want their editing software, whatever they have. But one video, and it's over to Jimmy.
Yeah, I get to do video of the week, and like I've watched obviously you guys for a long time now, and you get video of the week, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, it'd be quite easy, and then you have a list of videos that you have to go through, and it's really hard because you want to be fair and you want to be just, and you want to pick what you think is the best one. And it should have been Nurk if I was being biased, like I said earlier, but this one just kind of just the content of it was just amazing, and I judged it on editing, music, the colors of it, location, the filming style, the flying skill, and it just ticked all my boxes. It's Fourth Wish, and it's Swedish Lapland, Lepio, I believe it is pronounced, and it's the colors are amazing in it. I love this video.
It's stunning.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah. Good choice, Jimmy.
So how
guys
good
need
were
to
the shapes in that at the end? The light.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously
Top
that's
down
got
on
the
the
full
lights.
video. You guys need to go and watch the full video. Honestly, I'm a proper sucker for like good editing, and that just ticked
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the
It was,
boxes on the editing
that
side.
was very good.
So, well, you
He's
never
in the
watched my
chat
show,
as well, so he is.
Jimmy?
Sub, like, share, comment. I have to tell you, I don't tell anybody this, but normally when Jackie or Liam picks video of the week, I sort of pick my own video of the week, but I never tell anybody. And tonight, that Fourth Wish was the one that I picked as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Made the right choice then.
It was awesome. So it was,
Yeah, it was really good.
Does that mean the rest of us don't get it right, Tone?
No, because I don't like picking the videos. That's why I palm it off to
No, it's
everybody else.
Difficult.
It's,
Really
it's
hard.
bloody
You have
hard.
noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
know
were saying,
too, but
you were
Yeah.
saying to me, Tony, as well. It's like, are you sure you want to pick that? It's completely free choice. Why don't you go for no? Because I know because that's biased, and the Fourth Wishes video was better, and I'd feel wrong if I didn't pick it. Honestly.
no, I love that one.
it was really,
That one,
really
I
good.
picked that one straight away
Mm.
because
great.
because when I go through and I pick them and I edit them down to
Mm.
because that's probably more than 2 minutes long, as like the other videos. Sub, like, share, comment, but go
Yeah.
and watch
Go
them.
watch them in
go and watch
4K.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
that
yeah.
was amazing.
Make sure you watch watch the whole video as long as there's more than 30 seconds watched, because if people sub to these channels and if they don't watch the content, YouTube thinks it's a scam and they take off the new subscribers. So sub, like, share,
give them
comment,
a bit to
definitely
watch.
watch the whole video, especially on 4K. It's awesome. Anyway, That's it. Another night over. Chris, I
Yes.
can't thank you enough. I can't tell you how much I've been looking forward. Last week's show
Yes.
was brilliant. This week's show's been out of this world. It's been awesome. I love
There's another great guest. Another great guest.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Really good.
And Jimmy, thank you so much. I really appreciate you helping
Yeah.
us out.
That's okay.
Thank you,
I'm here
Jimmy.
to help.
But
Yeah,
I-
good
I-
to meet you all. It's been
Yeah,
it's been
pleasure.
a really lovely experience.
yes, please,
Brilliant.
everybody go and sub
The big ladder.
the big
Onto my
ladder.
website and Instagram. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Very
yeah,
kind.
Please. You want some help? Go and look at them. They're awesome.
Hmm.
So, before everybody goes, please hit the thumbs up because it helps us as well. We will see you next week, Jackie. Do you know who we got as guest? Do you know who we got as guest next week?
Yes.
Shall we give them a little hint?
No, don't tell him. Make
Yes.
him come back.
That's your lot.
That'll give him a.
That was brilliant. Thank you, everybody.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Bye bye.
See you later.